First of all, let me thank you all for coming here in such large numbers. In spite of being a bank holiday weekend, that too with kids, it's really appreciated. Thank you. I am here today to request for your support to bring equality in education. The time has come for a change. It's been long overdue. My daughter, who is just 4 years old, she was denied admission into a school only on the basis of religion grounds. The grounds were she was not baptized. She is a Hindu. I complained to various authorities, and the reply I got was not great. The worst reply I got was, "Why don't you baptize your child just to get priority in the enrollment in the schools?" I would like to ask you all, is it her fault that she was born in a Hindu Irish family? No! I'm not here against any institution or religion. I'm here to fight against the discriminating policies of the institution. The very reason I took up this fight was my family have suffered a lot. It was like a torture for us. We had sleepless nights. We even thought of leaving Ireland. We were in that state. That day I decided, I will fight. I will fight for the next generation. My daughter is already in the school, but I will fight for the next generation. And we all will fight together. Kids, they are future of a country. And all the kids, they should be treated equally. Regardless of their religion, their color, or no religion. The so-called our national schools, those who get most of their funding from taxpayers' money, that is your money and my money. Yeah. And these schools, they follow a policy of religion first in enrolling students, which is a discrimination. We need to put an end. We need to put an end to this discrimination. No state-funded schools has the right to do so in their enrollment policies, and it is absolutely illegal. This discrimination, it doesn't stop after the enrollment. It goes to the next stage when the religious classes start. Kids are separated from their regular classes and put on to different classes, and creating a segregation between the kids. Do you think this is right? No! According to me, religion should be kept away from the schools. That too, state-funded national schools. Let's be a human first and then religious. If you are aware, 97% of the schools are run by religious denominations, out of which 92% are run by Catholic institutions. I would like to ask you all a question that my daughter, she very often asks me this question, that is, Daddy, why am I not going to the same school where my friends are going? And I have no answer to this. I make stories just to please her because I don't want to fuel a small little brain with the word discrimination. Maybe you guys have a better answer to this question. Do let me know after the march. Or maybe the Minister of Education has the better answer. UN, United Nations Human Rights Committee has repeatedly called on Irish government to establish non-denominational or multi-denominational schools. But our government, they are not doing enough. I would like to call on the Education Minister to bring in a legislation to ensure that no children are discriminated during the enrollment in schools and when they are in schools only on the basis of their religion. When you go back from here, I would ask all of you to question your TDs. What are they doing about this? It reminds me of a famous quote by His Excellency Nelson Mandela. In the end, we must remember that no amount of rules or their enforcement will defeat those who struggle with justice on their side. Now, we all have to make a promise here today to ourselves that we are here on a mission and we will not stop till we secure a bright future for our kids, for the next generation. Before I end my speech, I also request you all, there is a petition by me on change.org. If you look for remove religious discrimination in Irish schools, please log on to that and sign that petition as well. And once again, thank you all for coming in such large numbers. Thank you. I'm not going to give a speech again, don't worry. Now, I would like to call on one of my friends, and I should call him a comrade. He is also fighting for the same reason. Mr. Paddy Monaghan.
Hi everyone. Hello. I made one really bad decision so far today. That was a moment ago, well, 10 minutes ago, Rupesh came over to me. Paddy, will you go first or will I? I said, Rupesh, you organised this, so you go first. And now I'm really regretting that decision because I don't know how to follow that, to be honest with you. Rupesh has nailed everything about this. I started the petition too about 3 months ago when I found out that my child, who's 7 months old, will not get into the local school. I was largely aware of this law, but it only sank in when I found out the local school is oversubscribed. Now, I'm a taxpayer. I live 200 metres from the school. And I'm a lawyer and I'm nearly 40, and it only sank in that this is actually the law in Ireland. And this applies to, as Rupesh said, I'm sorry, I'm going to be repeating him here, this applies to 96% of schools in this country can legally turn away your child for religious reasons. And we're talking about taxpayer-funded schools. I mean, I don't know where to begin with how Orwellian the situation is. There's a piece of legislation to go through the Dáil in the next couple of months. It's called the School Admissions Bill. The School Admissions Bill, again, we have Orwellian wording. There's a section in it that says, guess what, folks, we're wasting our time here because it's okay. There's a section in this new bill that says there's going to be no discrimination on the basis of religion. So that's okay, we can all go home. Oh no, wait. Look down to the next subsection. It says, except for schools with a religious ethos. That's 96% of schools. It's an abuse of language, and it's downright insulting. What we need to do, as Rupesh said, you need to talk to your local politicians. This bill will go through in the next couple of months. We need to repeal the Section 73C through this section. Rupesh mentioned a lot of issues relating to religion and education, and I'm sure there's people here who have a variety of views on religion and education. My petition's for one thing and one thing only. I see it as a starting point. I see it as complementing what Rupesh said about other aspects of religion and education. I went for the minimal, the absolute smallest thing that we can do to make access to education fair, and that's repeal this law. Now, it won't change the patronage of schools, and it won't change the teaching of religion in schools. What it will mean is that your local taxpayer-funded school cannot turn your child away when we repeal this law, Section 73C of the Equal Status Act. That's some more Orwellian language there. So, basically, that's what my petition is for. I put this to the Minister on numerous occasions. Constitutional objection, what would you say? I mean, they're not objections. She raises the Constitution. In the Constitution, there's a few non-discrimination clauses, and all but one are qualified. All but one, the state will only go so far to uphold them. There's one that is unqualified. It says there will be no discrimination on the basis of religious status. Unqualified, and that's it. That's Article 44(2)(3). No discrimination on the basis of religious status. How can a law that says that state-funded schools can turn away children, how can that not be unconstitutional? In any case, I keep putting it to the Minister, is this a good law? Forget about whether or not it's constitutional. Forget about whatever barricades you're trying to put up to stop this. Is this a good law? If it's a good law, Minister, then great. We'll just have to disagree on that. But if you agree with me that it's a bad idea to discriminate against 5-year-olds in enrolment to school, well then let's do whatever we have to do to change it. I'm saying repealing Section 73C is not unconstitutional. In fact, it's required by the Constitution. We need to repeal that section.
Yay!
Thank you.
Yay!
Sorry, I'm not up there with Rupesh, but anyway. So we need to repeal Section 73C. There is no constitutional reason not to do it. It's required by the Constitution. And then we come to the issue of divestment. You will all have different feelings about divestment. Believe it or not, if you've been following me for the last couple of months, you may not realise this, follow me like Twitter and all that stuff. I'm fully in favour of divestment. I think school divestment and patronage is a great idea. But guess what? It is not happening. The Minister, I was talking to a journalist during the week. He went to the Minister for a quote, and the Minister's answer was, guess what, we're going to try harder on divestment. Divestment started in 2011 under Rory Quinn. One school out of 3,300 has been divested. One Catholic school under 3,300 have been divested. There's over 90% schools are Catholic. Divestment is an absolute abject failure. I fully believe in divestment, but it is not the answer to the question of school access. School access, number one, let's get our kids into the school, and then let's worry about divestment. As far as I can see, divestment is an ethos for a school for every ethos in the audience. Let's have 5 schools in every town so that we can keep our kids separated on the basis of religion. To me, that's bloody nonsense. Let's get them into school together. It's the best way for them to learn. Let's get them all into school together. Rupesh did not send his kid to the local school, the one that his kid wanted to go to. He didn't try and send her to that school because he wanted secretly a Hindu school built next door. He just wanted his kid to go to school with his friends. That's all I want my kids to do. The minister keeps on fudging this, talking about divestment, which is a good idea. But first and foremost, we need to get rid of the law that says we can turn children away based on religion. I mean, basically, Rupesh nailed it. I'm trying to keep calm here. I'm actually furious, and that quote from the minister during the week was what really made my blood boil, because it seems like you do realise the religious institutions are 100% behind divestment. That's what they say. They're 100% behind divestment. And this is what is killing me, because it seems like they found an issue they can hide behind without actually doing anything. They can say, yeah, we're all in favour of this, but then they don't do anything about it. So let's stop asking them. It's not their business. Let's just change the law, repeal Section 7.3c, and have equal school access for all children. Take it from there, build it from there. Then we can get religion taught outside of school time. Then you can change the patronage of schools. But first and foremost, let's change it overnight, a red pen through that section, equal school access to your local school, taxpayer funded for all children. That's all I have to say. Thank you very much.
Don't worry, we won't take too much of the time. Now we have another parent, Nikki. Sorry, she's here. Please welcome Nikki Murphy.
I'm a bit shorter. Yeah, I'm really sorry. I'm going to keep this very short, mostly because the two guys said it all really. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Nikki, and I have 2 little boys, and we are a non-religious family. We're raising our children without religion, so for that reason we would actually prefer to send our child to an Educate Together school in our community, but unfortunately there's none available. Ruben was supposed to start school in 2015, but despite applying to 9 schools for him, I had to defer him starting school for another year. So for this year, I'm trying to enroll him in 15 schools. And you know, it's so good to see people like Rupesh starting something like this and seeing people turn out to support this, because I felt every single one of those rejections for Ruben like a punch in the stomach. And unfortunately, I'm not alone. There's a lot of people here, and at the time I didn't know them, but I know them now, who felt it in exactly the same way. An empty feeling in their gut, a pang, like your child is not welcome in your community. So myself and some other like-minded parents, we got together and we started a startup group for an Educate Together school in Dublin 6 West. A fantastic bunch of people, a lot of them affected by the same issues. But despite gathering 1,000 children as interested in the proposed school, we don't have any guarantee that the department or the minister will do anything for us. The only information we have is that they're negotiating with the Catholic Church to provide a school or a building under the divestment process, but we don't have any information on when that will be or if we'll be successful. Obviously that's what we want, because although it's equal school access is very important. I mean, these are all state-funded schools and no child should be... I mean, Ruben's a Category 4 child, he's a Category 9 child, he's a Category 11 child in the local school enrolment policies. Like, we're not talking about second-class citizens, it's much worse than that. But you start to ask yourself, well, is that the type of environment you want for him during the school day? And it's not. I don't want him to be sitting down the back of the class, feeling excluded, feeling like he doesn't belong there, coming home asking me why he's not making his communion or doing things his friends are doing. I would prefer for him to be treated equally, not just in terms of enrolment into school, but during every aspect of the school day. So, I mean, this has to happen, like, you know, we need some reform. So, I mean, is serious reform that's needed throughout our education system. So I just hope we keep up the fight and keep the pressure on. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Nikki. Now, we have a lot of small and big groups, those who are in support of equality in education, and their spokespersons are here, and I would like to invite everyone to join this march, and hopefully others group also, they will come and join with us. So first I would like to invite Ronan from Education Equality.
Hi everyone, my name is Ronan O'Donnelly and I'm working with a new group called Education Equality. I got involved in this campaign for two reasons. The first reason is frustration. I'm frustrated by an education system that claims to put the best interests of our children first, but actually bows to a higher power. I'm frustrated when I hear of children being refused entry into 15 schools because they're not baptised. I'm frustrated by those who betray the motto, do unto others as you would do unto yourself.